Hi, welcome to this standing practice yoga flow. Izzy just brought us her hedgehog. Begin by taking your yoga therapy ball or your racket ball or your tennis ball under your foot and just roll the myofascia of your feet open, inviting that tissue to release across the sole of your foot will help the fascia release all the way up your legs into your hamstrings. It's a nice way to begin before we come into standing poses. It's also really nice to have open feet and great stability in these standing poses. So now bring your transverse arch from big toe to pinky toe over the ball and let your toes wrap forward around the ball. And look for these metatarsal knuckles, the base of your toes, to rise up out of the flesh of your feet like little buoys. Let them come towards the surface. You may just press and release on the ball a little bit, getting the toes and the fascia in the front of the foot to open, and then roll across the foot one more time. Take the ball under your heel, press the ball down onto the circumference of your heel, come to the other toe. Let your arms support you and see, can you float that foot off the ground, checking your balance at the beginning of the practice, and step back down. And then roll the ball under your other foot, inviting the fascia to open. So you don't have to press super hard. You just want to invite your awareness down into the sole of the foot. Feel into, oh, where is it tight? Where do I want a little opening pressure? But don't come into pain. Invite the fascia to become more fluid, more watery, the feet more open so the bones of the feet can float inside the fabric of the foot. Bring the transverse arch across the ball from big toe to pinky toe. Wrap the toes over the ball like bird talons and look for your knuckles at the base of your toes. These are your metatarsal knuckles. Feeling into those joints. And then roll the ball under the foot again. So we bring our attention into our body. Senses turned inward is the practice in yoga of pratyahara, one of the 8 limbs of the yoga practice. Bring the ball under your heel, step onto the ball, let your arms come out like wings, lift to the opposite toe. Perhaps float the foot. So your transverse arch helps you balance here from big toe to pinky toe. And step down. Move the ball out of your way and just shake your arms, bounce your body, wake yourselves up for the practice. Let go any hypertonic muscles and then step your feet wide. Let your arms lift and turn your left foot out. Take your right heel back and find a plumb line down your spine over your pelvis for these standing poses as you bend your front knee out over the second and third metatarsals and turn your palms up and inhale and exhale down the center channel and inhale and exhale. Fluid breath, weight into both legs. We lift up from the inner arch of the back foot all the way up into the pelvic floor. We don't collapse into the inner arch. And as you come down, open your arms wide and rest into your Virabhadrasana 2. Let your pelvis sink towards earth and sink down into both legs evenly. Open your feet on the floor, lift your toes, lift your arches, feel the arches. Relax your collar. And take your left hand to your femur, right arm alongside the ear, and bow your heart towards earth and lift your heart towards the heavens. And let your spine undulate and feel for the tissue stretching as you spiral the spine. You can even spiral the arm that's lengthened overhead, turning the palm up, getting a stretch through the whole fascial fabric of the right side body. Some of you will come to your forearm. grounding the back heel, reaching through the fingertips, inhaling into the whole circumference of your torso. Let your heart be bowed towards earth and just cat curl the spine gently. And lengthen, cat curl, and just find opening in the fascial fabric around the lumbar. Come back to neutral. Let the top arm rainbow over, stretching fingers away from the outer edge of your right foot. And then come through neutral and float up into your dancing warrior. Release your collar. Breathe three-dimensionally into the body, opening the whole circle of your lowest ribs. Dancing warrior. Fluid breath. Straightening the front leg, lift up and float into your high triangle pose, bringing your arms parallel to your front leg. Now really try to keep this left side body long, lifting both armpits away from your hips without bringing your shoulders up around your ears. So you're lengthening the torso, not shortening the neck. We stay high like this because so many people, when they come down, collapse into this lower side body. So we're working on this side body length. And look how the energy just moves through the pose this way. Feel it. Exhale, lift the left palm, relax the backhand back, and rest into your dancing triangle. And we'll keep going through this series for a few rounds, bending into our warrior two. Resting the arms as if they're resting on water. And floating forward either onto hand or forearm for Parsvokonasana. Bowing heart towards earth and lifting it towards the heavens. And lifting back to neutral. Exhale to activate your inner core as you float into dancing warrior. Pause in your dancing warrior where your bones can float. So you're not straining at the neck, you're not straining in the upper back, but you may be working a little to elongate the spine, lifting vertebrae off vertebrae. Straighten the front leg and cartwheel into your high Trikonasana. Open across your wings. Lengthen from your pelvic floor through your crown. And float up into your dancing triangle. And again, Vira II. Forward into Parsvokonasana. Floating up into dancing warrior. Floating forward into high Trikonasana. Floating up into dancing triangle. Vira II, warrior two. Parsvokonasana, lengthening both side bodies. Dancing warrior, resting into the pose. High triangle. Expansive across the wings, not throwing the hands too far back so the shoulders stay integrated. Checking in that you're not hyperextending knees. Float up. Dancing triangle. And one more time. Vira II. Parsvokonasana. Dancing warrior. High triangle. Dancing triangle. And release, turning the left leg in and the right leg out. Now remember, you can be heel to heel alignment here, or if your hips are kind of tight and you feel like this front knee is getting pulled in as you try to bring this back hip back, you can step the back foot toes towards the front long edge of your mat and the other pinky toe back so that you have more of a diagonal here, so you can keep this knee open while you open this hip. And you can keep the torso more at that same diagonal. Okay, so you want to find the position for your legs that you can keep this front knee comfortably open over your second and third metatarsals. The front knee never opened over your ankle towards your toes. Fluid breath, land lightly in your warrior two. Turn the palms up and inhale. Draw in a sun breath. Draw the breath into the whole circle of your lowest ribs. Make sure your feet are really open on the mat. Feel for the arches of your feet healthy, supporting the leg bones. And one more. Resting into your warrior two pose. Settle your pelvis towards earth. Rest your fingers on water. And bring right hand to your femur, left arm alongside the ear, and bow heart towards earth and lift heart towards the heavens. And bow and lift and feel for a stretch in the myofascia of your torso. Fluid breath and fluid movement. We stretch heart towards earth and pause, feeling for where we need the breath so we can allow the bones to float. And then come up to neutral and rainbow the top arm over. Breathe into the parachute material of your left side body and lift it with your breath. And relax it on the exhales. And as you're ready, exhale through a straw, lift the pelvic floor, float up into your dancing warrior. Now, I see a lot of people in this pose take it too far, and they're hinging too hard into their lumbar thoracic junction between the rib cage and the lower back. Try to take it into a nice, healthy arc, keeping the neck long, not dropping the head and jutting the chin. Find that place where you can hold the arc. You can think of lifting vertebrae off vertebrae. And then float up through Vira II, straightening the front leg, hinge into your high triangle, keeping this lifted arm parallel with the leg. And really feel into how you're building strength up from the pelvis and the rooting legs through the sleeve of muscles around the spine. Shoulder blades are magnetized onto the back, ribs wide. And then we float up into our dancing triangle. We relax and rest. And we float forward into Virabhadrasana too. Releasing for a few breaths into the pose. And we fold forward onto hand, forearm, Parsvokonasana. And we may again bow heart towards earth and lift heart towards the heavens. And then coming back up, we float into our dancing warrior, releasing the collar. Relaxing into the pose. And floating into your high triangle. Check in that your knees aren't hyperextending, that there's space around every bone in each joint, from the hands to the feet, even along the neck. Float up into dancing triangle. And come into Virabhadrasana too. Parsvokonasana. Find space in each pose. Stability as you move from pose to pose and find that place where you can settle in. spaciousness inside the inner landscape. Exhale, lengthening the front leg, cartwheel into your high triangle, shoulder blades firm on the back body. Float up, dancing triangle. And warrior two. Parsvokonasana. Dancing warrior. High triangle. Dancing triangle. Warrior two. Wide angle pose. Dancing warrior. High Trikonasana. Dancing triangle. And release, softening the front knee, turn it in. Step your feet together and pause for a moment in mountain pose. Place your tongue where hard and soft palates meet and let the hot air balloon lift you skyward. Shoulder blades on the back body. Breathe spaced into this mountain pose. Feet wide open on the floor. Come into your choice of balance of tree pose. So it may be kickstand pose or foot on the calf or foot up on the inner thigh. Woo, wherever you are, hug the midline in your pose. And be okay with falling out. I just had to. Fluid breath. Arms reaching out of your torso, foot grounding into the earth. Lift from your pelvic floor up through the crown and rest your limbs into the body. Now your limbs could be up here high or they could be hanging lower along your sides. You could even bring them in to become a pine, fingers pointing towards the sky. Fluid breath. Some of you may even let your limbs blow in the breeze. Let your knee release and come forward and step down. Pause with your breath. Fluid breath, palate over heart over pelvis. Let the hot air balloon lift you towards the sky, elongating the spine. And open your feet, sink your roots deep, and draw the next foot up into your chosen position for Vrksasana, tree pose. Float up. Hug the midline from hip to hip. Release your shoulders into the torso. And come into your fluid, three-dimensional breath. And feel for the movement that is in the stillness of your tree pose. And let your arms float in the breeze. Maybe you're a weeping willow. Maybe you're an oak or a maple. Maybe your hands are together and you're a pine. And maybe there's a big wind today. Fluid breath. For a moment, make a funnel of your arms and draw in all good energy. And then bring the knee forward and step down. Pause in your mountain pose. Let the hot air balloon lift you from your palate. Let your tailbone sink. And let your breath open the whole circumference of the torso. Standing poses make us stronger. We drew our attention inward. Hopefully our feet are more open and our body is more spacious. Let's inhale our hands to our hearts. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.